Welcome to Thriller 3D. Join me on a journey into the heart of darkness as we explore spine-tingling horror stories, haunted places, and unearth the chilling unknown. Buckle up, turn down the lights, and prepare for a terrifying adventure you won't soon forget. As I stepped off the plane in Beijing, a sense of unease washed over me. The journey had been long and exhausting, but it wasn't just the jet lag that made me feel disoriented. It was something about the air, thick with history and mystery, that sent shivers down my spine. My visit to China had been planned for months, a chance to explore a land rich in culture and tradition. I had always been drawn to the idea of wandering through ancient temples and walking along the Great Wall. But as I looked out at the sprawling cityscape of Beijing, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The hotel where I would be staying was a grand, old building that had seen its fair share of history. It had an eerie charm, with dimly lit corridors and creaking floors that seemed to whisper secrets of the past. The receptionist greeted me with a polite smile but spoke in hushed tones as if afraid to disturb the spirits that might be lingering. As night fell, I decided to venture out and explore the city. I wandered through the narrow alleys of the historic hutongs, where ancient homes stood like silent sentinels. The streets were empty, and the only sound was the soft rustling of leaves in the breeze. But then I heard it, a faint, haunting melody. It was the sound of a traditional Chinese flute, echoing through the alleyways. I followed the music, drawn by its melancholic beauty, until I found myself in front of a small, dimly lit shop. Inside, an old man with wrinkled skin and wispy white hair played the flute with remarkable skill. His eyes, however, held a deep sadness that sent a chill down my spine. When he noticed me, he smiled, revealing yellowed teeth, and gestured for me to sit. "Welcome, traveler," he said in a raspy voice. "You have come a long way to our city." I nodded, captivated by the music and the strange sense of foreboding that hung in the air. "The old stories speak of spirits that wander these streets," the old man continued, his fingers dancing over the flute's wooden surface. "They are restless, seeking something they lost in life." I couldn't help but shiver as I listened to his tale of lost souls and ancient curses. It was then that I realized I might have bitten off more than I could chew by coming to China. But it was too late to turn back now. Little did I know that my journey had only just begun, and the horrors I would encounter in this land of legends would test the limits of my courage and sanity. The following morning, I awoke with a sense of determination to explore Beijing's rich history despite the eerie encounters of the previous night. My first destination was the magnificent Forbidden City, a sprawling complex of red-walled palaces and courtyards that had been the imperial seat of power for centuries. As I wandered through the labyrinthine halls, I marveled at the intricate architecture and ornate decorations. The history seemed to come alive around me, but it wasn't long before I noticed something strange. In some of the dark corners of the palace, I saw shadows that moved on their own, as if they had a life of their own. I brushed it off as a trick of the light, but as I ventured deeper into the heart of the Forbidden City, the unease returned. I reached a secluded courtyard, surrounded by ancient trees and overlooked by a massive red gate. It was there that I saw her, a young woman in a flowing, silk robe, her hair cascading like a waterfall. "Who are you?" I asked, surprised to find someone in such a remote corner of the palace. She turned to me, her eyes filled with a profound sadness. "I am Mei," she whispered. "I have been trapped here for centuries, cursed to wander these halls in search of something I can never find." Her words sent a shiver down my spine. I had heard of the legends surrounding the Forbidden City, tales of emperors and concubines who had met tragic ends. May's story seemed like something out of those ancient legends. "Why are you cursed?" I asked, my curiosity overcoming my fear. May's voice trembled as she recounted her tragic tale. She had been a beloved concubine of an emperor, but her love for him had led to jealousy and betrayal within the palace. She had been accused of treachery and locked away in this very courtyard, where she had died alone and heartbroken. As May spoke, I couldn't help but feel a deep sympathy for her. It was as if the weight of her sorrow had seeped into my own soul. She reached out a hand, and I hesitantly took it. Her touch was ice cold, sending a chill through my body. "Please," she implored, her voice barely audible. "Help me find what I seek, and perhaps my curse will finally be lifted." I agreed, promising to aid her in any way I could. Little did I know that this pledge would plunge me deeper into a world of ancient curses and vengeful spirits, where the line between reality and legend would blur, and my own life would be at stake.